What truly holds you back from growing, moving up in the world, and succeeding? Well, believe it or not, it's not the external world. This is Dr. Spencer Coaches. Today I'm going to talk to you about what truly holds you back. So many people want to point fingers and blame circumstance as to why they're not getting ahead with their life. Whether it's just growing as a person, whether it's getting an advancement, moving up in your career, getting a promotion, or allowing your business to grow, or allowing your relationship to grow. Because the answer is the same. You can't blame the market. You can't blame your parents. You can't blame your partner. You can't say, if I only had. That's what's holding you back. It's right underneath your nose. You see, when you got one finger pointing at someone, you got another finger pointing back at you. And that's the real reason. But underneath that, let's delve deeper. It's your mindset, your perspective. You see, when you feel that it's never your fault, when you feel that you've got a tough break, or you've got a certain value system, you're really thick-headed in what's right and wrong, that you can't see things any other way. It's your viewpoint. It's your own viewpoint that's keeping you stuck. Now, let me elaborate. For a long time, I used to think my mother didn't love me. My father didn't care about me because he didn't spend any time with me. Me and my mother didn't really get along when I was younger. And I was also very thick-headed and very fiery as well. I never wanted to listen to anybody. I had authority problems. Unless you really proved yourself with your aura that you were really in it for the benefit of others. I had a few teachers like that, Mrs. Seal, Mrs. Greff, a couple other teachers that you could just feel their love, the radiance. Like they're not in it for the power, for the status. They want us kids to be happy. You can't hold everyone to a high standard. And my viewpoint was very black and white. When I was younger, you either saw it my way or not. You either agreed with what I thought was possible or you were against me. That black and white way of thinking got me nowhere. Butted heads with a lot of people, got into a lot of arguments. I always had to be right. Never listened to other people, never understood their point of view because I feel I didn't have to because I was so right. That's what held me back. Being stuck in that viewpoint. And now I just learn to listen to people. Because out of all the things that I've learned, as a doctor, we do a lot of research. And the more I learn, the more I realize how much I don't know, how much there is to learn. And in the path of knowledge gathering, I'll call it that, that's what really opened my mind to, wow, how little I really know. And if I don't take the viewpoint of, well, what else is there to learn? Then I don't really learn anything. I don't really learn things with enthusiasm. I may put up with and tolerate. I may even be able to memorize and regurgitate, but never really accept. Not until I took the attitude of, well, what else is there to learn? What else can I learn? Wow, I didn't know that. Wow, I didn't know that. And just approach life from that point of view. I realized that anything is possible. That what other people say could be true. And I learned how to communicate more effectively. someone says something that may be contrary to what I think, and I might say, instead of arguing with them, I'll say, that's interesting. What makes you say that? Can you give some examples? No, I want to know, because it's something different than what I think. I want to hear your side, hear where you're coming from. I invite them to express, to articulate. Just being more open-minded. And with approaching goals, I realize I don't have it all figured out. Otherwise, I would have achieved my goal. Which means there's something to learn. There's something I'm missing that I'm not getting. And if I'm not getting it, sometimes the search for it, the grasping of what it is I want to know, pushes it away. So I'll relax and just be patient. And allow life to reveal the answer when it's good and ready. I was working in my car today, dropped a couple bolts down towards the engine, looked on the ground, and it wasn't there. So it fell into some compartment in the engine compartment. And I was kind of pissed. It's like, now what do I do? I can't put this back together. And I kept looking and looking. I got a flashlight. I got a little magnetic finder, moving that around for a good hour, just looking for these bolts. And as I was looking for it, I began to think, well, it's bound to pop up. I mean, it didn't go anywhere. It's not on the ground. It's got to be somewhere in this engine. It's bound to pop up. Maybe when I move my car, it'll rattle it loose, but it's bound to pop up. So let me just work on some other things. And then, long and behold, I look under the car and it fell down. And then the other bolt, I put everything back together, and then the other bolt appeared on the ground. And all I did was wait for it. Didn't have to look for it. I waited for it. What holds people back? What holds you back? Because you may be feeling stuck. You may be feeling impatient. You may be feeling frustrated with yourself, with your parents, with your job, with your loved ones, significant other. Why don't they get me? Why don't they? It's always pointing the finger rather than saying, well, what is my attitude? What is my viewpoint? What is the belief behind my viewpoint that keeps me stuck in this point of view of seeing the world through a paper towel tube? When you see the world through a tube, you only see so much. You can't see anything. You can't see perspective. And that's what limiting beliefs do. That's what getting stuck in a viewpoint does. It creates a filter. So you only hear what you want to hear, and you negate everything else. It's called a cognitive bias. You only hear that which supports your theory and your opinion. And you only look at that evidence. You don't look at any other evidence. You literally block it out, both from your ears and your mind. When it's presented to you, you may disassociate and space out, and what did you say? You just block it out because you're stuck in a viewpoint. And the viewpoint is created by a limiting belief. To liberate yourself from that viewpoint, you must uncover that belief. Ask yourself, if the viewpoint is an opinion and you believe something to be true, what must be true in order for that statement or opinion to be true? And you look for 4 statements of truth, 4 statements of evidence, 4 supporting facts. Just like a table, it takes 4 legs to support a table. If one leg isn't there, that table will not stand. That belief, that opinion, that theory, that hypothesis will not hold truth. Whatever a viewpoint and opinion you have won't hold true, because you need 4 statements of facts to support that opinion. For instance, I believe the sky is blue. Well, where's the evidence? Because someone on the other side of the world is saying, no, the sky is black. Well, then I could say, well, let me ask somebody. So there's other people see blue. And creates that blue frequency. And they can also look at stories of the blue sky and how there's overwhelming evidence of other people's perspective that the sky is blue. You look at different points of evidence to support the fact. If I say the sky is red, we'll prove it. Look up. Get a color wheel. Compare the color wheel to the color of the sky. Is it red? Ask other people. Get a spectrometer. Maybe at a certain point in time it's red, such as sunset or sunrise, but it's not red all the time. Just like the sky is blue only during the daytime. Now, what does this have to do with anything? Because it's just an example of a belief, of a viewpoint. Whatever statement that you believe to be true, whatever opinion that you have, because we live in the world of opinions. In this day and age, so many people want to declare their opinion to be the righteous truth because I thought it, because I'm intelligent and I rationalize it. Therefore, this is the absolute truth and the only thing that can be true. I'm right. God damn it, I am right. You've seen people like that. I'm always right. Well, when you're right about your own limitations and you believe that you can't do something because for whatever reason, and you convince yourself that you can't do it because of some memory of failure, and that's the only supporting evidence of that one time that you failed, because it was so emotionally overwhelming that you've concluded that you're not good enough, that you can't do it, that you can never learn. And that's the key, is the word never. You see, language can be used against you and for you. The language you use to think, because we think in language, we think in words. We define our world with words and language and measurement and description, which are words. And when we understand the power of words, the power of language, when we look at our own thoughts, it has to be, it's always, never, these absolute and find it very difficult to see it any other way. And that's what keeps you held back. That's what keeps you from growing, from getting a promotion, and succeeding. So I encourage you to look at your beliefs, look at your viewpoint, literally write it out so you can see it, make it tangible, and then begin to challenge it. And you can unravel that belief and you realize, wow, I thought that the whole time. You know, how many people thought something about their spouse? I thought you were mad at me. I thought you said this. You didn't get the whole picture. Think of it like a scientist. You're collecting all the data you possibly can. You don't have any preference. It's not a matter of I only like this and I don't like that, so I'm not going to consider that. You look at everything. You look at the world objectively, not subjectively. And you begin to have a neutral viewpoint and just look at the world as information and just get the facts. Not your emotional reactions, but just the facts, just the measurable, quantitative facts to determine whether something is true or not. and to see what is possible for you. Can you learn? Can you change? Can you figure it out? Because like anything in life, a skill can be learned and mastered. This is Dr. Spencer Coaches. If you'd like a consultation, go ahead and click on the link below. We can schedule a consultation. I can take a look at your professional life, your business, or your mindset. Create an assessment, create perspective, and then give you some answers so you can get peace of mind and get some clarity, get a handle on your situation. There's no shame in it. You have everything to gain and nothing to lose, because if you want to get clarity, you want to make more money, have more fun, and have more time to spend with the people who matter. Click on the link below. This is Dr. Spencer Coaches. Thank you so much for listening.